The greatest illusion you have ever been sold is that you are meant to live forever in this skin. We spend our entire lives running away from the one thing that is absolutely certain, the end of our physical journey. We treat death as a distant enemy, a dark shadow that we must avoid at all costs. But in our desperate attempt to avoid death, we end up avoiding life itself. We become paralyzed by fear, fear of losing our health, fear of losing our money, and fear of losing our reputation. We live in a state of constant, quiet desperation, clinging to things that were never ours to keep. But the masters of old knew a secret that can set you free today. They taught the art of dying before you die. This is not about the end of the body, it is about the end of the psychological fear that keeps your soul in a cage. When you have already faced the darkness, the light can no longer blind you. When you have already let go of everything, no one can take anything from you. Today, we are going to learn how to live as a ghost in the machine, utterly present, yet completely detached. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a vast, silent ocean at midnight. The world behind you is noisy, full of your debts, your ambitions, and your titles. But in front of you, there is only the infinite void. Most people spend their lives with their backs to this ocean, terrified to even look at the water. They build walls of distraction to forget it is there. But the spiritual warrior turns around. He walks into the water. He allows the waves of reality to wash away everything that is not eternal. He dies to his ego, he dies to his history, and he dies to his attachments. And in that moment of total surrender, something miraculous happens. He doesn't disappear. Instead, he wakes up. He realizes that the person who was afraid was just a costume. The real you is the ocean itself, not the temporary wave. Dying before you die is the ultimate act of courage because it is the only way to experience a life that is truly, vibrantly alive. It is the realization that you have nothing to lose, because you never owned anything to begin with. To die before you die means to relinquish the grip of that small self. Think of your life as a long-distance race where you are carrying a massive, heavy suitcase filled with stones. Each stone represents an attachment, your pride, your past mistakes, your house, your social status, and even your secret fears. You are exhausted, gasping for air, but you refuse to let go of the suitcase because you think that without it, you would have no identity. You think the suitcase is you. The art of dying before you die is the sudden, violent act of dropping that suitcase in the middle of the road and continuing the journey empty-handed. When you have nothing left to protect, you have everything to gain. The world loses its power to frighten you because it can only threaten to take things away from you. But how can you threaten a ghost? How can you hurt someone who has already surrendered their life to the truth? This internal death is the birth of the observer. When you are no longer entangled in the drama of your own personality, you become the silent witness to the world. You see the storms of emotion rise and fall, but you remain as steady as the deep ocean floor. You realize that your thoughts are just clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness. You are the sky, not the clouds. Most people are so busy identifying with the clouds that they have forgotten the vast, blue emptiness that contains them. By dying to your thoughts, you regain the freedom of the infinite. You stop reacting to the world's provocations and start responding with the wisdom of the ages. You are in this world, but you are no longer of it. This is the ultimate rebellion against the limitations of the human condition. Look at the history of the greatest souls who ever walked this earth. Whether they were samurai, monks, or philosophers, they all shared one ritual: they meditated on their own mortality every single day. They didn't do this out of morbidity or sadness, they did it to find the fire of life. When you accept that this moment could be your last, everything changes. The petty arguments with your spouse become meaningless. The pursuit of fame becomes a joke. The accumulation of toys becomes a burden. Only the truth remains. Only love remains. Only the present moment remains, shimmering with a light that is invisible to those who think they have forever. To die before you die is to burn away the dross of existence until only the gold is left. It is a purification by fire that leaves you standing naked before the universe, and in that nakedness, you find your true majesty. Fear is the only currency the world uses to control you. It frightens you with poverty, it frightens you with illness, and it frightens you with loneliness. But fear requires a future to exist. Fear is a projection of the mind into a next moment that hasn't happened yet. When you die to the future, fear loses its oxygen. When you live completely in the now, you are invincible. The person who has died before they die is the only one who can truly be called a free man. He does not obey the commands of his greed or the dictates of his terror. He moves with the grace of a mountain and the fluidity of a flame. He is the one the world cannot categorize, cannot manipulate, and cannot conquer. He is the master of the shadows because he has become the light itself. There is a profound beauty in the temporary nature of things. A flower is beautiful precisely because it will wilt. A sunset is breathtaking because it is fleeting. If a rose lasted for 1,000 years, it would become common, like a plastic ornament. Your life is a masterpiece because it has a frame. Death is the frame that gives the painting its meaning. Without the ending, the story is just noise. When you embrace your mortality, you stop waiting for a better future and start making this moment holy. You treat every breath as a miracle, every conversation as a sacred exchange, and every challenge as a gift from the divine. You stop being a consumer of life and start being a creator of it. You find that the more you are willing to lose, the more the universe pours into you. This is the paradox of the spiritual path: the more you die, the more you live. The more you let go, the more you have. The more you become nobody, the more you are everything. To the ego, this sounds like insanity. To the soul, it is the only sanity there is. The ego wants to build walls to keep the world out, but the soul wants to tear down the walls to let the light in. When you die to your ego, the wall collapses, and you find that there was never any separation between you and the stars. You are the breath of the wind, the heat of the fire, and the depth of the earth. You are the eternal consciousness that has forgotten itself in a dream of being a person. It is time to wake up from the dream. It is time to die to the illusion so that the reality can finally breathe through you. As we conclude this 25th chapter of our shared journey, I ask you to do one thing: stop running. Stop running from your fears, stop running from your past, and most importantly, stop running from your end. Sit in the silence of your own room and invite the darkness in. Look it in the eye and say, "I am ready." Not ready for the body to end, but ready for the illusion of fear to die. In that moment of total honesty, you will feel a weight lift from your shoulders that you have been carrying for lifetimes. You will feel a peace that the world cannot give and that the world cannot take away. You will walk out of that room as a different person, a person who is no longer afraid to live because they are no longer afraid to die. Thank you for walking this path with me through these 25 episodes. If you are ready to be born again into the truth of your own immortality, subscribe to this channel and join our community of the awake. Leave a comment with the words, "I have died to live," to signal your commitment to this path. Your journey is no longer a race toward a finish line, it is a celebration of the infinite now. Remember, the sun must set for the stars to appear. Let your ego set today, so that your eternal light may finally shine. I am Christopher, and today, you are truly, finally, alive. Stay silent, stay fearless, and become the infinity you were always meant to be.